morning. Coach Jack Daniels at the Boxers Trainers Channel. And actually, I had anticipating having a guest on this morning. Actually, this is the third request and the last request, right? You know what I mean? It's like, you know what I mean? Um, Sometimes you have to kind of like surrender, right? And this is one of those places in my career, right, where I have to surrender to the inevitable, right? The guest, you know what I'm saying, obviously isn't interested in coming on. So, be that as it may, we have to keep moving, right? Because for me, it's a lifestyle. Boxing is a lifestyle, right? You know, being in a position where I can deliver the message of boxing to the world, right, is something I breathe for, really. You know what I mean? And a lot of people really don't get that, right? It's just like, in some instances, it's like, damn, what are you doing? Why does he keep, you know what I'm saying, trying, right? The thing about this brother is that he don't do no trying, right? I'm doing this. I am committed to being the best boxing podcast in business. Contrary to the fact that right now, because I don't have the necessary components to build the numbers necessary to compete, right? That will, no, excuse me, that shall change in due time, right? My ambitions, my sole motivations is to be the best podcast in Boston in the world. And I am adamant about getting to that stage, contrary to the fact that there has been of late a lot of unnecessary chatter, right? In the sense that men don't, you know what I mean? Don't worry about it. It's cool. I got all kind of stuff, right? But that's okay. I ain't mad, right? And I still believe in the creator, right? And things must pass, especially for those that have a belief system in the creator, right? So look, today is April the 4th, Saturday, and we have an outstanding heavyweight event today, right? Now, the particulars associated with the fight, I didn't pull them up because I was doing something else in regards to trying to um, encourage a better performance on the air, right? But that didn't happen, like I said. But that's okay, right? But Deontay Wilder is back at it, right? And for those that really don't know Deontay Wilder is kind of like a Southern boy, right? You know what I'm saying? And to be interjected into one of the best sports in the world, right? It was kind of like a stretch, in my opinion, for Deontay Wilder, right? But not to say that Deontay Wilder didn't make a go at it, because actually, at one point in Deontay Wilder's career, he was considered as one of the best heavyweights in the world. Right now, since then, he has taken a couple of losses. To be specific, four. Right, Deontay Wilder is 30. Excuse me, is 40 years of age. He has 44 wins. 43 by knockout. He has four losses. He's been stopped three times, one draw, right? On the other side of the spectrum is Derek Chisora, right? He's third. No, damn, he's 40. These cats is old. Well, for boxing, they're relatively old, right? He's 42 years of age and still grinding, right? 36 wins, 23 by knockout. 13 losses. Uh, he was stopped four times, right? But now, again, Derek is 42 years of age. And I think it's necessary to insert this into the conversation. Contrary to the fact that he's has 13 losses, right? He's still a dominant fighter in the heavyweight division. A lot of people, right, really try to avoid Derek Chisora, right? Because he had that type of steamroll mentality when he gets in the ring and pursues his opponent, right? I mean, hey, look, I've watched Derek Chisora on three or four occasions, right? And he coming with the smoke. Now, the thing is that he's coming to somebody like Deontay Wilder, who is not really the type of a boxer, right, that is good on the back feet, right? Now, if you got somebody really moving forward, right, and you moving backwards, right? Again, Dante Wilder is not the type of boxer that moves well on his back foot, going backwards, right? He is normally the type that tries to be the aggressor, right, and moves forward. That's where he gets all his power from. Excuse me, when he moves backwards, that subtracts away from his power, right? So in those instances, it makes things a little difficult for Deontay Wilder. Well, we're gonna see how he do today, right? But this is an excellent matchup for both of these cats, right? Because age wise, both of these dudes are on the decline. Age wise, I'm not gonna say they're not good boxers because they damn sure are. Both of them, these dudes, is good, and they made a lot of noise, right? Respectfully, right? Both of these cats like each other too. I might add, right? Shout out to the chat. Both of these cats like each other, right? So it's this boxing match is made for mixed emotions when it comes to who will be the prevailing one that dominates, right? It's about this fight is particularly about dominating. Who will be the dominator, right? Whether it's Derek or Deontay Wilder. That remains to be seen. But both of them kind of like, you know what I'm saying, they didn't really go mad. Um, Post fight interviews, right? In face up, they didn't really go mad talk. You know, I'm gonna whoop his ass. They didn't do that, right? And it made for a different face off type of environment as opposed to all the you know what I mean. That's one thing about boxing that is different than when I boxed. When I came up, right? I came up in the era basically of Sugar Ray Leonard and uh Thomas Hearns, Marvin Hay. I came up in that era, but I actually started boxing during the Muhammad Ali era. But the point I'm trying to make is this: these cats today are different from back in the days, right? There was chatter, but it wasn't this disrespectful, right? I mean, sure, it got to the point where Durant told Sugar Ray Leonard this was in the rematch, right? That he was gonna have his wife and all kind of stuff, right? Right. But that was like the tip of the iceberg when it came to chatter, right? But this garbage today is unbelievable. You know, I mean, these dudes say anything. I mean, it's kind of like to me a disrespect to the sport. But look, if y'all like it, I love it. I'm talking about the fans, right? If you don't say nothing about it, it's going to continue to exist. I say something about it. You know what I mean? And I hope there's a few of you out there that have a like-minded disposition. Thank you for the subscription, Javier. Shout out to Javier. He just subscribed. Appreciate you, brother. So this is going to be a fascinating fight, right? These cats are on the precipice of again their decline. So the victor, especially when it comes to Dante Wilder, right now, the fans really want to see Dante Wilder versus Joshua. Anthony Joshua, right? They've been clamoring to see that fight for years. So maybe, just maybe, if Dante Wilder can pull this fight off, if he can pull this fight off, we might get that fight. You know what I'm saying? That is a fight the world has been clamoring to see for years. And I don't know why it really didn't come to fruition, right? There was a lot of ups and downs, back and forth in regards to why the fight didn't take place. But maybe, fingers crossed, you know what I mean? If Dante Wallace pulls this off, right, we might get Anthony Joshua versus Dante Wilder. And that is a damn good fight as well. You know what I mean? But the thing is, if he can get past Chisora, Chisora is coming. He made that perfect. He's coming. Dante Wilder says he wants him to come. He needs him to come for his spirit, right? To get back to the place where he needs to be. This is what he said. He needs Chisora to come with the smoke, right? He insisted that he come with smoke. And I'm like, damn, you really want that smoke from Chisora? Chisora can bring the smoke. I don't care about his 42 years of age. I've seen that dude bring it, right? I've seen him beat down some youngsters. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if Deontay Wilder really should be nudging Chisora to bring that smoke. Because at the end of the day, that smoke moving Deontay Wilder on his back foot, right, ain't a good thing, man. It ain't a good thing. I'm laughing because I don't know if Deontay Wilder is serious about wanting that smoke from Chisholm, right? But maybe he really needs this because he's been going through a lot in his life. You know what I mean? I don't know if you guys have been following Deontay Wilder, but he has went through a lot in his career. A lot of it has to do with, I think, bad choices in relationships, right? I believe that sometimes we as athletes, me included, right, get caught up in the emotional scheme of things and get sometimes abused. So shout out to Deontay Wilder for, you know what I'm saying, pursuing his dream of being a great boxer. Right. Listen. That being said, I got to get ready for some boxing today. They had some pretty good boxing yesterday, man. I might add they were like the regular superstars, right? And actually they were names that I never heard of before. But it's boxing. It doesn't matter. When you love boxing, man, when you love look, man, when you love boxing, man, it doesn't matter what you're watching. As long as you can articulate and know what they're doing in the ring, right? And that I do know, right? I can sit there and watch a cat, right? And say, damn, I wish he would have did this. I wish he would have did that or he should have did this, or he should have did that, right? That's what makes, for me, life bearable, because I love the sport of boxing and I know the sport of boxing. That being said, hit that subscription button, hit the like button, drop a comment in the comment section, and give me your opinion on who you think the victor is. Now, I almost left out of here without giving my opinion about who the victor will be. In my highly educated boxing opinion, I'm gonna give this a 50-50 fight, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna stay disciplined to the fact that both of these cats is at the precipice of their career, right? And both of them need this win. So with that type of analogy on the table, right? This makes for a damn good fight, man. Because both of these cats know what they got to do in order to stay relevant. You know what I'm saying? So, um, make sure y'all catch this fight, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's support Dante Wilder and Derek Chisora, right? That being said, hey, I'm gone. Wait, hold up, man. Let me see something here. I got some top fans here. Oh my God. Wow. Later, y'all.